Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? I always seem to come to these events to deliver a speech the morning after the night before, where everyone's looking slightly tired after a little bit of celebration and catching up with colleagues from throughout the country. It's great to be here in Birmingham, celebrating the very best of the bus and coach industry. For those of you I haven't met already, and I think I've met the majority of you, my name's Simon Lightwood, and I am the Minister for Local Transport. I'm getting used to that now. Finally, we're able to drop the shadow bit of the title there. It's rare for politicians now to introduce themselves without mentioning their parents' careers. Now, my dad wasn't a toolmaker, but I get to use this trump card. My dad was a bus driver. He worked for South Shields Busways, sadly no longer an operator in its own right, and our community relied on buses to get to school, to get to work, to trips to neighbouring Newcastle and Sunderland, the home of the best football team in the entire planet, with lives and livelihoods depending on timely, affordable services. I know the same story can be heard in towns and cities across the country. In fact, here in Birmingham, the number 50 bus carries a staggering 5 million passengers every year. That's almost 5 times the city's entire population. Now celebrating its 75th anniversary of operation, it's said to be one of the busiest routes in Europe. The demand is undeniable. Yet for too long, a postcode lottery has dictated the quality and the availability of bus services, with poor connections becoming a fact of life for so many. This government recognises the potential of buses and coaches, not only to unlock opportunities up and down the country, but to kick-start economic growth and fuel Britain's decade of renewal. That's why we've got ambitious plans to improve services and grow passenger numbers. In this Parliament, we'll introduce the Buses Bill, bold legislation to give local leaders the tools to overcome local challenges, removing barriers and bureaucracy to create better services. We know that this alone won't clear all of the roadblocks ahead. So we're also giving local authorities and local leaders greater flexibility and control over funding, helping them to plan for the long term, ditching the sticking plaster solutions in favour of sustainable solutions, and protecting local networks. We'll ensure that services reflect not only the standards that passengers expect, but the quality that they deserve. These steps will create and save vital bus routes across England, connecting more people to more places and maximising buses' potential. And we're putting our money where our mouth is and backing our plans with the investment that they need to succeed. Government's first budget confirmed over £1 billion to help transport authorities and operators deliver high-quality, reliable bus services. That means £150 million for the £3 fare cap, unlocking affordable travel across England over the next year. £640 million for bus service improvement plans, helping local transport authorities to deliver upgrades. And £285 million for the Bus Service Operators Grant, supporting and protecting existing services. The budget was an important stop on our journey to better buses. And as we kick off and tick off each of our checklists for change, a need to become cleaner and greener must drive us forwards. Although buses and coaches are a more sustainable way to travel, the industry still has a valuable role to play in our net zero mission. Back in the 80s, a plug-in bus would have been beyond our wildest dreams. But today, it's not a futuristic technology, it's reality. It's great to see the Midlands leading the charge, with Coventry well on its way to becoming the UK's first all-electric fleet. Not only are these buses better for our planet, they're better for passengers too. Communities can enjoy lower costs, quieter journeys, and smoother travel, not to mention cleaner air, which will be central in our mission to building a healthier Britain. As appetite grows, zero-emission buses present a real opportunity to manufacturers, both to fulfil orders here in the UK and to win export contracts as other countries look to make the switch. Government will work with you to maximise the benefits of this transition, building on the previous Zebra programme. It's safe to say that we're on the right track. The UK registered the most electric buses in Europe last year, with zero-emission models accounting for over 60% of new large buses. But I'm sure we can all agree that there's more to do. Earlier this year, Government announced a new UK bus manufacturing expert panel. By bringing together industry experts and local leaders, we will support local authorities to deliver on their transport ambitions, accelerate the net zero transition, and keep Britain at the forefront of bus manufacturing. I look forward to sharing more details on the panel in due course. Collaboration is at the core of the government's bold plans for change. And that's why events just like this are so important. By sharing our insight and ideas, our experience and expertise, and our questions and concerns, we can drive progress towards our shared ambitions. I look forward to meeting many of you on the exhibition stands later today, and to working with you over the coming weeks, months and years as we deliver high-quality bus services that Britain deserves. Thank you again to the event organisers for bringing us together. Thank you to the CPT for inviting me to say a few words. And thank you all for everything that you are doing for this industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I know you're going to do a tour shortly. There's just one little question I want to ask, because obviously the thing on everybody's mind, you've touched on it, is franchising. We've all seen the Greater Manchester B network up and running now for just over a year. The general impression seems to be it's working out quite well. Is that the template that you see working everywhere? Would it be applicable in places as far afield as Morecambe and Mansfield?
So I would agree that obviously the B network is a fantastic example of franchising working well. It's already seen a 5% increase in passenger numbers and a greater level of reliability. But no, I think that we're looking at models of franchising that can suit all areas, from rural areas across the country, not just on the scale of Manchester. And of course, we're very clear that there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to improving our buses. Yes, there is franchising, but there is also municipal ownership and, of course, looking at our partnerships as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Simon Lightwood, ladies and gentlemen.